Classic Hollywood is remembered for its glamour, elegance, and the timeless beauty of its stars. But behind the sparkling lights and red carpets, there were stories that rarely made it to the silver screen. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood had personal quirks and habits that shocked their colleagues and fans alike. Among these, a surprising number of actresses reportedly struggled with personal hygiene, often leaving co-stars and crew members disgusted. From strong odors to unusual grooming habits, these stories reveal a side of Hollywood that was far from the perfect image projected to the world. While today we celebrate their talent and charisma, it's fascinating and a little unsettling to look back at these little-known details. These actresses were undeniably stars, but their behind-the-scenes habits make us wonder what really happened off-camera. In this video, we explore 10 classic Hollywood actresses who were rumored to smell unpleasant, sharing stories, anecdotes, and the gossip that made their co-stars cringe. Prepare to be surprised, because glamour sometimes comes with unexpected realities, and even legends had flaws that are rarely talked about. Actress 1. Mae West. Mae West, one of the most iconic and daring stars of classic Hollywood, was known for her bold personality, sharp wit, and unforgettable screen presence. She could light up any room with her confidence and charisma, but behind the glamour, there were stories that made her colleagues step back. Rumors and anecdotes from her co-stars and crew suggested that Mae West had a personal hygiene habit that was less than ideal. Some sources claimed that she often went long periods without proper bathing or changing, relying on her perfume to mask any natural body odor. This made close contact on sets uncomfortable for those around her, especially during long shooting schedules in heavy costumes and hot studio lights. Mae's eccentric and self-assured personality seemed to overshadow these habits publicly, but in private, it reportedly caused tension with makeup artists, costume designers, and fellow actors. People who worked with her often mentioned that while Mae West was charming and witty, her scent could be overwhelming in confined spaces, leaving a lasting impression that wasn't always pleasant. Despite these stories, Mae West continued to command attention on and off the screen, never letting rumors interfere with her career. Her boldness extended beyond acting into every aspect of her life, and perhaps her hygiene habits were just another example of her defiance of societal norms. Mae West remains a legendary figure in Hollywood history, but the behind-the-scenes gossip reminds us that even icons had human flaws. While her talent and wit are celebrated to this day, these personal stories give us a glimpse of the realities of classic stardom and the quirks that made Hollywood both fascinating and unpredictable. Actress 5. Clara Bow. Clara Bow, famously known as the "it girl" of the 1920s, captured audiences with her vivacious energy, charm, and undeniable screen presence. While she was celebrated for her playful personality and captivating performances, stories from behind the scenes painted a more complex picture. Rumors circulated among co-stars and crew that Clara Bow sometimes neglected her personal hygiene, particularly during long and hectic shooting schedules. Working under hot studio lights, often in heavy costumes, her natural body odor occasionally became noticeable, making close contact uncomfortable for those around her. Makeup artists and costume staff had to adapt quickly, balancing her glowing appearance on camera with practical concerns off-screen. Despite these challenges, Clara's charisma, warmth, and professionalism ensured that she remained beloved by colleagues and fans alike. Her personal habits did not diminish her talent, but they became part of the private Hollywood lore that added layers to her legendary persona. Friends and coworkers often emphasized that Clara was kind, generous, and full of life, which helped offset any discomfort caused by her rumored hygiene habits. Even with these behind-the-scenes quirks, Clara Bow's impact on Hollywood was immense, redefining the modern image of femininity and energy on screen. These anecdotes remind us that even the brightest stars had imperfections, offering a candid glimpse into the realities of classic Hollywood life. Clara Bow remains a timeless icon, celebrated not only for her talent and charm, but also for the human flaws that made her story all the more relatable. Actress 6. Carole Lombard. Carole Lombard, one of classic Hollywood's brightest comedic talents, was adored for her sparkling personality, impeccable timing, and radiant beauty. Behind the laughter and charm, however, there were whispered stories among colleagues about her personal hygiene. Some cast and crew reportedly noticed that Carole sometimes neglected regular bathing, relying instead on her natural charm and elegance to carry her through long shooting days. Working under hot studio lights in elaborate costumes, her natural scent could occasionally become noticeable, causing subtle discomfort for those in close proximity. Makeup artists and costume designers often had to adapt to maintain her flawless on-screen appearance, while co-stars tolerated these quirks with polite discretion. Despite these behind-the-scenes challenges, Lombard's professionalism, wit, and infectious energy ensured that she remained one of Hollywood's most beloved figures. Friends frequently noted that her warmth and generosity far outweighed any minor inconveniences caused by her habits. These personal anecdotes reveal a human side to a star often idolized for her perfection, showing that even icons had flaws and eccentricities. Carole Lombard's legacy endures not only because of her unmatched comedic talent and beauty, but also because of her authenticity and resilience in the face of the intense pressures of Hollywood. Her story reminds us that behind the glamour, stars were human, complete with quirks that made them relatable, memorable, and unforgettable in the annals of film history. Actress 7. Lupe Velez. Lupe Velez, famously known as the Mexican Spitfire, was celebrated for her fiery personality, vibrant energy, and magnetic screen presence. Her charisma and passion made her a standout in classic Hollywood, but behind the scenes, she had personal habits that raised eyebrows. Rumors among co-stars and crew suggested that Lupe did not always prioritize personal hygiene, often relying on her natural charm and bold personality to overshadow any discomfort. Long hours on set under hot studio lights and in heavy costumes reportedly made her natural body odor more noticeable, which could be challenging for those working closely with her. Makeup artists and costume designers often had to adapt quickly to maintain her glamorous appearance, while fellow actors tried to focus on performances despite the less-than-pleasant scent. Lupe's energetic lifestyle, frequent socializing, and unpredictable behavior contributed to these quirks, making her both fascinating and difficult to manage behind the camera. Nevertheless, her talent, vivacity, and fearless approach to acting ensured that she remained one of Hollywood's most memorable and adored figures. While these personal anecdotes reveal a human and imperfect side of Lupe Velez, they also highlight the realities of life in the spotlight, where glamour and personal quirks coexisted. Lupe's legacy endures as a testament to her talent, audacity, and unforgettable personality, reminding us that even the brightest stars had flaws that made them fascinatingly real and historically intriguing. Actress 8. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford, one of classic Hollywood's most powerful and enduring stars, was known for her intensity, discipline, and striking screen presence. Behind the polished image, however, there were whispered stories about her personal habits that made working with her a unique challenge. Rumors suggested that Joan sometimes struggled with personal hygiene, particularly during demanding shooting schedules, relying on her professional demeanor and strong personality to maintain control over her environment. Cast and crew occasionally reported that her natural body odor could be noticeable during long hours in heavy costumes under hot studio lights. Makeup artists and costume designers often went to great lengths to preserve her flawless appearance while managing the realities of the studio environment. Despite these behind-the-scenes quirks, Crawford's dedication, talent, and commanding presence ensured that she remained one of Hollywood's most admired and respected actresses. Friends and colleagues often described her as meticulous, intense, and driven, traits that sometimes overshadowed minor personal eccentricities. These stories remind us that even the most polished stars had human flaws, and Crawford's legendary career was built not only on talent, but also on the determination to succeed despite imperfections. Her legacy continues to influence generations of actors, and the anecdotes about her personal habits add depth to her persona, showing that the glamour and discipline of classic Hollywood were often paired with very human quirks that made these stars memorable in every sense. Actress 9. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth, the legendary love goddess of classic Hollywood, was renowned for her beauty, elegance, and captivating performances. While her on-screen persona radiated glamour, behind the scenes there were whispers about her personal hygiene that surprised many of her colleagues. Rumors suggested that Rita sometimes neglected regular bathing during long, grueling shoots, relying on her charm, charisma, and impeccable style to maintain her image. Working under hot studio lights and in heavy costumes made any natural body odor more noticeable, creating subtle discomfort for co-stars and crew. Makeup artists and wardrobe staff reportedly had to work extra carefully to ensure her appearance remained flawless on camera, balancing her legendary glamour with the realities of day-to-day filming. Despite these challenges, Rita Hayworth's professionalism, talent, and grace ensured that her career flourished, and her personal quirks never overshadowed her achievements. Friends and colleagues often emphasized her warmth, dedication, and generosity, which helped smooth over any minor inconveniences caused by these habits. These behind-the-scenes stories give a fuller picture of life in classic Hollywood, revealing that even the most glamorous stars had human flaws. Rita's legacy endures not just because of her iconic beauty and unforgettable performances, but also because she was a complex, real person navigating the pressures of fame. The anecdotes about her personal habits remind us that Hollywood legends were as human as the rest of us, and it is this combination of talent, charm, and imperfection that made them truly memorable. Actress 10. Moran. Moran, a popular comedic actress of classic Hollywood, was celebrated for her lively personality, sharp timing, and ability to steal scenes with her humor. Behind her cheerful on-screen persona, however, there were stories about her personal hygiene that made working closely with her a challenge. Colleagues and crew reportedly noticed that Polly sometimes neglected regular bathing, especially during long and demanding shooting schedules, relying on her bold personality and comic energy to overshadow any discomfort. Working under hot studio lights and in heavy costumes could make her natural body odor more apparent, causing subtle unease for those in confined spaces. Makeup artists and costume designers often had to make adjustments to maintain her polished appearance on camera, while co-stars tried to focus on performances despite these quirks. Despite these behind-the-scenes challenges, Moran's talent, humor, and dedication ensured that she remained a beloved figure in Hollywood comedy. Friends and colleagues frequently emphasized that her warmth, generosity, and vibrant energy outweighed any minor inconveniences caused by her habits. These anecdotes provide a candid glimpse into the realities of classic Hollywood, showing that even stars with immense talent and charisma had human flaws. Moran's legacy endures not only because of her comedic genius and memorable performances, but also because these personal stories remind us that the glamorous lives of Hollywood icons were often intertwined with ordinary, human quirks that made them relatable and unforgettable in the history of film.